Hi and welcome to the Cowal Virtual Games, Highland Gathering Games that is. This year the games are not on, so we're doing all these wee video takes for our supporters, our followers, and let us get started. And I would like to introduce you who we've got today in the interview. Let me introduce with ladies first. We have Lucy Marshall from England. She's 6 times the Cowal Ladies Champion, and she is the English Ladies Champion in the Heavy Events Athletics at the Highland Games. Also we have here today, all the way from Iceland, is Heisi Geirmundsson, who's 2 times Cowal Highland Gathering Champion, hoping for 3 the next time, maybe next year. And we're hoping to have with us today the German champion Daniel Dorrow. For some unknown reason, he's not connected. He might come in the programme as we're going on through this, as we say. And not to forget my old self, I'm convener for the games, and I have been 3 times Cowal Games champion. Going back a couple of years ago in the 80s. So I've got a few things I'd like to bring up today, and I'm going to start off with a few wee questions. I'm going to start with myself, and then I'll ask the athletes to say what they think themselves. Now, the length of time I was competing and judging. Now, I started competing in 1979, and the last year I competed was 2000. So that's nearly 22 years competing and nearly 20 years as a judge. Can I go to you, Lucy, now and ask you the same question?
So this year would have been my 8th year at Cowal. Like you said, I've won it 6 times. Last year I finished 2nd. So yeah, absolutely disappointed we're not there. But like you say, we'll be back next year ready to go.
Excellent. And Heisi?
This would have been, what, my 5th year, I think. Won it twice, 2nd place once. I think I got 3rd place the last time. It wasn't my best year.
It's hard because when we get to the Cowal Highland Gathering, we've got all the champions from each country, and the competition is very tough.
Yeah, it's very close. I think between myself and 1st place last year, there was only, I think, 1 or 2 points separating us. So yeah, it goes right to the end, like the last event.
Well, it's the same in the men's event last year. The caber, everything went on the caber, and I think it was the last toss of the caber that decided. Is that correct, Heisi? Yes?
Yeah, I think we lost, what, by half a point or something in the caber. It was that close.
Yeah, very, very close. Right, folks, we're lucky enough to be joined by our German champion, Mr. Daniel Dorrow. Now, Daniel,
hello. Nice to see you.
I see you're busy working in the house again. I'm glad you've managed to join us. You've won Cowal Highland Gathering champion on 1 occasion? Twice?
I think it was once.
One. That's good. We're all past champions here.
Yeah.
Now, I was asking the other athletes, and I'm going to ask the same to yourself, Daniel. The length of time you've been competing at the Highland Games, how many years?
How many years? I started competing, I think it was 2008.
And you've managed to get up to be German champion and get across to be Cowal champion. That's something special.
It took time and a lot of training hours, and yeah.
Yep. Now, not just the Cowal Games, but your biggest success as a competitor. Mine was to be Scottish Heavy Events champion. I was lucky enough to do that in 1986, many, many years ago. Now, I'll come straight to Daniel this time. What's your best success as a competitor?
I think to have a good place at a World Championships. You know, I don't want to earn some titles or something like that. Just to keep on with the big guys and with the professional athletes and be part of the good athletes, you know, and
excellent.
learn from the good athletes. So I would say to even have the entry to join a big special event, for me it's a big success.
Yes, most definitely. Heisi, can I ask you the same question? Your biggest success as a competitor, and it doesn't necessarily mean which competition you won, as Daniel said.
I think it's almost the same as Daniel said, that that I keep getting invited to all these games across the world. That means I must be doing something right. And then I don't know. I'm pretty proud of 8 times Highland Games Icelandic champion.
Wow.
Hoping to make it 10. But yeah, I think keep getting invites to games in the States and Holland and over in Cowal. I think that's the biggest achievement, that people think about you when they're throwing games together.
Yeah, excellent. You're correct there. Now, Lucy, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Biggest success as a competitor?
Again, similar to what the boys would say, but for me personally, it probably goes down to event. There's just one event that I don't train for, but I really enjoy it. It's weight over the bar, and I haven't been beaten in that in 8 years. And
you're a very special lady at that event.
So for me, yeah, that's the one. And you know, every year I hope that there's somebody there that challenges me, and there's always somebody there that does. But I always manage to just come out on top. So yeah, I mean, I reached 17 foot last year, and my aim this year was to try and reach 18. So obviously that's now my goal for next year.
Yeah, you get plenty of time to train for next year.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. Now, I'm going to ask a wee question. I mentioned earlier on, the first year competed at Cowal. Now, for me, the first year I competed at Cowal was 1980. Now, I know some of you might be quite young at that age, that year.
I wasn't born.
Heisi, what was your first year at Cowal Games?
I think it was, what, 5 years ago?
5 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Daniel?
I think it was 2011 with Kengo, the Japanese athlete.
Oh, Kengo Kabuto was there.
Yeah.
Lucy?
I think mine was 2014.
2014, yeah. That's about right, maybe, yes.
Yeah.
Be a wee touch earlier.
Maybe.
You've won the title 6 times.
Yeah.
And this year's out, yeah. Yeah. Now, what's the first memory of the Cowal Games for you all? My first memory of the Cowal Games was 1980. I walked onto the park. It was a terrible weather, and I seen this giant of a man in the park, and I wondered, who is this man? He looks huge. And it was Britain's #1 shot putter, Jeff Capes. You'll have all heard of Jeff Capes.
Oh yeah.
Now, he stands at 6'6.5", and he was 24 stone. He was a big, big man, and he made me feel so small. A very good athlete. I'll go to Lucy this time. Lucy, what's your first memory of Cowal? A good memory, if possible.
It was just kind of walking in, and obviously at the time it was still quite new to me. So I'd not done anything like that before, and it was just feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And I bumped into Savannah, and then, yeah, it was just weird. The whole day just went really well, and it was just amazed me at how friendly people were. And, you know, they become more like family than friends, really. And everyone just encourages you. And yeah, it was just a really good day. There was nothing negative at all, and there's just so many highlights of the day. It's hard to pick one.
Heisi, can I ask you the same thing? Your first memory of Cowal?
My first memory of Cowal is, I think, driving up to the field and meeting all the boys and seeing who I was up against, and just seeing the field, and, you know, straight in the beginning, that how many people were there and how big it was. It impressed me.
Yep. Daniel, your first memory of Cowal?
I think it was the whole weekend. The trip from Berlin to Glasgow and driving up. I think it was Wembley, the ferry station, or was it one later? Gurok, yes, and drive with the ferry over and see all the families. You know, they are all in the mood of Highland Games weekend, and it's very impressive. And I think we have a dinner with you. You remember, in the big restaurant?
Yes, because I paid the bill. I remember. Only kidding. Now, the next one I'm going to ask is, what does it take in your mind to be a heavy? Now, in my case, when I started, the athletes now are bigger, stronger, more technical and throwing further. But to be a heavy, it's someone that's got to be dedicated. I mean, you've got to be good in the gym, fast at sprinting, good technically. So I'm going to go to Lucy. Lucy, what does it take to be a heavy in your case?
So for me, it's slightly different probably to what others would answer, because obviously I'm a wire hammer thrower, so I've been throwing for many, many years. So I've got the background of the strength work and the speed work. And I got involved in the Highland Games simply because of you, Alan. You invited me along, and that was it. So it's kind of a bit of a sideline for me. I adapt my training a little bit just to accommodate the Highland Games. But for me, yeah, it's like you say, it's working on the technical aspect. So obviously there are some events that I'm just no good at, and I take that. I enjoy it. I still have a laugh, and each year I improve a little bit. But the events that I do like, actually the ones that I am good at, are very similar to my hammer throwing or my shot putting. So for me,
They relate
it's just
to each other, yes.
Yes, it's just working alongside of what my already training schedule really. So yeah.
Well, I'm going to go on to the next one here is, what is your training program? I know when I was competing, which was 20 years ago now, I did lots of sprinting, lots of stretching, as much as I could in the gym.
I'm not good to run now.
And I didn't have any coaches as such, so it took a long time to get rid of all the bad habits doing technical work.
Yeah, I think the thing to remember, especially with, I mean, I'm 38 now, and I'm still learning how to throw the hammer. I've been throwing since I was 17. So I go in with the attitude, and it's the same with Highland Games. I'm still learning, you know, we learn from each other, and times move on. But for me, as I've got older, my training has changed. So I do less strength work now and more throwing. And so I will probably, obviously with what's going on, my training was non-existent for 3 months. So at the moment I'm just throwing 4 times a week. Come September, then I will start again with the strength work, and I'll be in the gym probably only twice a week. But yeah, I don't run, I don't sprint. It's just not pretty.
A swear word.
Yeah.
Daniel, I'll ask you the same question. What does it take to be a heavy? What is your training program? What's your training program?
Yeah, my training program is
other than building a house.
Yeah, at the moment it's very heavy to make both. No, but my training system is covered over the whole year. So I managed to plan the winter season, because in Germany we say athletes were made in the winter time. You know, yes. So I have different training systems, like keeping up strength and hypertrophy in the winter time, get bigger, and then transform it in the summer or in the springtime to explosive power or speed. And I have to say that sprinting and jumping things or exercises are very essential in my training system. So yeah, and this is what it makes, or what it's very important to be a heavy athlete, to manage to be good at everything. You have to be fast, explosive, and you have to be strong. And this is very very hard, I have to say. Yeah. And
well, you've got in athletics, decathlon or heptathlon. This is the heavy events. Same decision or choice, which is harder, I think. Heisi, get back to yourself here now. What's your training program for the year for what you do? And I know you're a very strong man.
Yeah, I tried to get very strong over the winter time. I like to chase PRs over the winter time, just to, you know, keep up with the boys in the gym. But when it comes time like January, February, I start to lighten up a little bit, and then add in Olympic lifting. And then as soon as I can go outside and throw, which isn't which isn't always easy, here in Iceland. But as soon as I can, I usually start throwing. But I work a lot, so I use that to my advantage.
Yes, that's good. And I know in Scotland, you moan about having cold weather. Over in Iceland, it's a lot worse in the winter.
Yeah, it's different. It's different
Yes.
kind of cold. It's always bad weather.
That's
You can't put a snowball.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're unlucky with the weather sometimes, but other people have it way worse than we do. So
yeah,
I'm not complaining.
that's good. Another week one I'm going to put forward to you. Favourite part? I know Cowal Gathering, it's all a big weekend. It's all a very special weekend. But what's your favourite part of the Cowal weekend? For myself, I love the games. As you said, we're one big family, and at night we can all get to know each other better as people rather than just someone from another country. Heisi, I'll start with you this time. Your favourite part of Cowal, if you can make it that way.
I think my favorite part is always meeting the people again. The ladies in the kitchen, the competitors, and just everybody. It feels like you're going just to see your friends again. Yeah,
definitely. Lucy?
Yeah, pretty much the same. It's just getting back with the guys and the girls again, and like the officials. It is just, that's what makes the weekend really, and just being with everybody again.
Daniel?
Yeah, I have to say the same. For me, it's also to meet each other, but on the other hand, it's also nice to take the ferry back. And I know I see the faces not again, so say goodbye again is also a good or a nice time,
And Cowal, the Cowal Peninsula, the Cowal Games is very lucky that it's a beautiful part of Scotland. And to get there and come back, and the ferry, as you said, it's unbelievable. Now, I've got one wee thing here to say, your funniest memory of the Cowal Games. Now, I've got umpteen memories and ones that I shouldn't say on this page, but I remember one year, the sponsors were told the athletes are big, so you have to give them big T-shirts. The ladies and the gents all get T-shirts that were 5XL. And I remember Andrea Riley, one of the girl competitors, the Scottish lady, has got a photograph, and I use it at home and I do wee videos, slideshows and that. And she's standing with this 5XL T-shirt on, and the T-shirt that meets you here is down by her hands and both sides. It's a monster, and away by down to her knees. And everybody that year was trying to look for a smaller one, even the big athletes. And that was very funny to me. And in the pouring rain, it just hung on her. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Lucy, have you got a favourite funny part to remember?
Oh, there's just so many, but the one that stands out is actually a T-shirt one with Dorrow. We got quite a large T-shirt one year, so we both got inside the T-shirt and walked around. And it was just really funny. The look we were getting, and people were just laughing.
That was only a 4XL.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, we both got in it quite well. But yeah, that was just really funny, and we had such a giggle, and people were stopping us to take photos. But it was just. But like you say, there's so many memories that just make you laugh. But yeah, that's the one that stands out for me.
Heisi, a funny memory for yourself, friend?
Most of my funny memories are from the Friday night get-togethers. So
is that when we all have a wee tea and coffee together?
Yeah, a little tea and biscuits during the Friday night session. I think most of my good memories, funny memories, are from there. I think the funniest was when we all went clubbing and we were dancing, all the big guys, and people just kind of left the dance floor and just kind of left us.
Well, you understand why.
Yeah.
You're all big boy. Daniel, your favourite funny memory kind of thing, a funny time?
Yeah, the things you said, they are very funny. I remember those moments. Maybe I tossed a cable once, and it was very slippery on the ground because it rains heavy on
Yes.
that day. And
It rains the odd time at Cowal.
yes, yeah. And the cable was falling 90 degrees, and it stands for 2 seconds or 3 seconds. It looks like a rocket, you know. That was fun.
That happens. And it does rain a wee touch at Cowal. Definitely. Now, what are you missing most in 2020? And for me itself, it's a game season and just in general. I go to games every weekend from May to September. None this year at all. And it's completely different. It's unreal. Heisi, I'm going to ask you something.
I think it's probably the same answer for every one of us. It's missing the games. I've done one game this season, and it was just a local show. You know, only 3 of us. You know, so I miss the games, and I miss just seeing all my friends and traveling. 2020 has not been a good year for Highland gamers.
No. Lucy.
Yeah, the same. Definitely missing the games, and like you say, missing the people, because it's a time of year that you get to see people that we speak to online throughout the year, but we always know we're going to see each other come August time. So yeah, that's been quite difficult.
It seems to be we're from different parts of the world, but when I'm asking these questions or whatever, we've all got roughly the same answer. We are one big family.
And it's
Definitely.
so my Wirehammer competitions are starting again, but they don't. It's great that they are, but they're so different. So when you go and see somebody, you're not allowed to go and give them a hug, or you have to stay 2 meters away from them. It's just alien. It's just weird. So it will be nice to just get back to some form of normality, really.
The final question I've got to put over today: do you have a message for someone who's not attended the Cowal Games to watch rather than compete for next year? Because this year, as I say, it's COVID-19, it's all off. Lucy.
Yeah, just get yourself down there. It's a great day for the family. There's so much to see, there's so much to do, and once you'll be going back every year.
Daniel.
Yeah, it's a great weekend for the kids, for the whole family, and it's also a nice traditional thing. Yeah, the Highland culture.
Heisi.
You definitely need to see it. You should come over, come watch us next time we throw, and yell at us and come say hello.
And I'm the same here. You can't miss it. And once you've seen the heavies, you want to come back. We've got the best heavies from all over the world competing, not just in individual events, but in a team event. Not anybody else does that. It's very, very good in Scotland. And it's a day you cannot miss. And I think I'd like to thank you guys for being on the day. And take care, keep training, and I'll see you all next year. Thank you all for being here. See you all later. Ta-ra.
See you next year.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.